Hello and welcome to Live at Trades. My name is Tim Hewitt. I'm your host tonight. I'm part of the Comedy Zone, an awesome showcase show happening at Trades Hall. It is absolutely pumping at Trades Hall at the moment. The weather is wet and cold, but it is hot, hot, hot in here, baby. We're going live. It's going to be so much fun. There's 20 shows down at Trades Hall. It's a great buzz. Come on down. Tickets are selling at the door. Check it out. We have a great show for you tonight. We've got packages with the Comedy Zoners, great interviews, and some special guests popping in to chat with me. It's going to be super fun. Check it out. I'm just pumped to be here. I'm loving going live. I'm loving this atmos. I'm loving the festival. I'm here. I want to get the goss. If you've got festival goss, start sending it in, baby, because that's what I'm all about. It's going to be a great time. But before we do anything else, why don't we cut to a great package with one of our fellow Comedy Zoners, Danielle Walker. This was shot by 31 Digital. It's going to be a great show, so please keep checking it out. Oh, man, just you wait. It's going to be good.
My name is Danielle. I'm from Queensland, Townsville originally. I've been doing comedy for about 3 years now, Nelly. The Comedy Zone is like a bunch of cool, rad, funny people. I hate that answer. What did you guys say? The Comedy Zone is like the 5 best new up-and-comers from around Australia, and we do a show together. To be a part of the Comedy Zone this year means that, you know, I get to have that on my resume.
Danielle Walker is one of the zoners this year, obviously, and she's got a really unique voice in comedy. Like, I haven't seen anybody come along in a long time who's got such a unique, fully formed voice and persona that suits her material so well. Like, she's really absurd, and she has a great turn of phrase that really adds to the topic she's talking about.
And I'm originally from Townsville, yucky. But when I was 19, right, I decided I'd leave Townsville and move to London for a few years. And I'm not sure if you guys are all aware of this, but Townsville's like a little bit different to London. And I noticed one of the biggest differences between Townsville and London on my first night in London when I was sitting on the top deck of a double-decker bus. The man in front of me just started smoking crack from a light bulb. And then he turned to me and he said, "Would you like some?" And that's when I noticed the biggest difference between Townsville and London, because in Townsville, people aren't that generous. I'm just like, "That's my crack, Dad!" Nice to be here. My first ever gig was in Townsville. It was at a pub outside to like 150 people, and it went really well. It was the best. I don't have any pre-show rituals. Oh, no, sometimes I'll like go over my set if it's a new set, so I might be in the back of the room just being like, yeah. So, the on-stage me and the off-stage me are like pretty similar. If you're like my close friend or family member, but if you're a stranger, then I'm just gonna be real quiet off-stage. My comedy style is a crazy woman, yelling and just talking quite sweetly, and then some drawings or whatever I want to do.
She's a great example of how, you know, even though there's rules, so-called rules, and inverted guy doing this, but rules in comedy, you can still break them. Like, one that I think most people have heard is you shouldn't laugh at your own jokes. And yet Danielle has this amazing kind of chuckle that she does that kind of punctuates some of her punchlines, and it totally adds to it instead of takes away from it, because it's not self-indulgent. It's almost like it's part of the cadence of her routine, part of the rhythm.
Comedy influences like Anne Edmonds, like Marcel Leconte. It's pretty much it. I don't really watch that much comedy, if I'm honest. My comedy career goal will be to sell out this Civic Theatre in Townsville.
I could watch Danielle for hours. I think she's hilarious, and I think she's going to do very, very well in the future, and I think she's doing very, very well now. It's it's one of those double-edged things where she's really lucky to have Comedy Zone, but Comedy Zone's really lucky to have her as well.
So the Comedy Zone is on from the 30th of March to the 23rd of April at 8:15 every night, except Sundays it's at 7:15, and there's no show on Wednesdays.
Oh, and welcome back to Live from Trades. That was the wonderful Danielle Walker there. I'm joined by another fellow Zone member, the great man Tom Cashman. Mate, how are you?
Pretty good. Now I've just been called a great man by Tim Hewitt, so I'm feeling pretty swell.
Mate, and that was live. What a rush for you. How have you been enjoying Melbourne? You're a Sydney boy originally?
I'm a Sydney boy. I've been liking Melbourne. The weather thing is true. People talk about the weather being a bit...
Mate, you've really embraced it. He's just got an umbrella in the back pocket.
I feel
really
very uncomfortable.
soaking up that Melbourne lifestyle. That's great.
I could get wet at any moment, and I want to be ready.
And you enjoying doing the festival?
I'm liking the festival. It's been fun. I am mindful of the Sydney-Melbourne thing. I don't know if you remember last night. I said I was from Sydney. I was met with booze.
Yeah, there was a kerfuffle.
There was a bit of a cuffle. A
kerfuffle. There was a big cuffle about it.
There was one cuffle and two kerfuffles. And I asked the crowd, is it a big deal, the Sydney-Melbourne kind of rivalry? One woman said no, and then a chorus of other people behind her were like, yes. So I do feel a bit not at home, but that's kind of what makes it fun.
That's what makes it so great. You're out of your comfort zone. You're living it up. And by the way, speaking out of your comfort zone, how's your living situation at the moment down in Melbourne?
Not bad. We met myself and two fellow comedians that you know, Cameron James and Becky Lucas. All we ordered an Airbnb, which we were under the impression we were going to have exclusive reign over the house,
yes.
But we, unbeknownst to us, wasn't in the description.
No.
Critical information.
Yes.
Absolutely wasn't in the description when we booked it. We're living with an elderly Vietnamese couple, Van and Tu. They're lovely. They've cooked for us twice now. It's a very Vietnamese area. Everything,
it's great. I mean, everyone knows festival time. It's a big party.
All about new experiences.
You're going crazy, and you want to hang out with your Vietnamese housemates.
And you
want elderly Vietnamese housemates.
Absolutely. I love being tucked in. I love fur, and I love taking my shoes off before I go upstairs.
You got to take your shoes off.
I have to. That is one of the rules, that I have to take my shoes off. And I respect other people's cultures, so I think that's great.
Absolutely.
If I could take my shoes off twice, I would.
Yeah, why not? Oh, man. I can already feel the atmosphere. Can you see that bubbling up, Tom? It is starting to get hot at Trades Hall.
Atmosphere in Trades Hall.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about Abbotsford.
Abbotsford.
Which is also kicking. But yeah, no, the atmosphere is swelling. We're going to have a lot of fun. Our show's at 8:15.
8:15.
We're going to have a lot of fun there.
Trades Hall. The drums are kicking in now, so people just get pumped up.
There is drumming, which is kind of the beginning of a lot of fun things. Rock songs, marching bands, gridiron games.
Gridiron games, comedy.
Comedy,
always starts with
not
drumming.
so much. I don't see.
We are going to cut to a quick break now. Coming up, oh no. Keep it live, baby. It is live. I'm freaking out. I'm not a pro.
Are we live?
We are live,
We're
baby.
live. Oh,
we
man.
are so live.
It feels pretty good to be live.
How do you feel about the show tonight, mate? You reckon it's going to be a banger?
I think it's going to be fun. The drums are making me enthusiastic. But also, it's a Saturday night, and it's been wet outside, so when everyone gets in and they're all going to be squished in together, it's going to be fun.
A bit loopy.
I reckon. My sister's coming tonight as well.
Your sister's coming. Yeah. Well, that is exciting. And on that absolute bombshell, we're going to cut to a quick break now. We'll be back soon. Join us from Live from Trades. We've got heaps more exciting interviews. See you soon. Welcome back to Live from Trades. I'm Tim Hewitt, and this is the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, live from Trades Hall, presented by Channel 31. I'm here with Tom Cashman. How are you?
Pretty good. Pleasure to be here again for the second time. I moved over there and then I came back and now I'm here again. I'm doing very well. And yeah, just keen for our show tonight and probably some others. I don't know, might watch Chimp Cop after our show tonight, if that's not sold out. Yeah, what are some of the other shows you're excited about?
Heaps of shows coming at Trades. But now we've got to cut to another package. It's one of the fellow Comedy Zoners. Who is it, Tom?
It's Nat Demeanor. He's up first in our Comedy Zone lineup every night. He's from Perth and he's 19 years old, which makes me very jealous.
19, and he's absolutely better than me.
Already killing it. So this is an interview with Nat Demeanor. So stick around and check it out.
Hi, my name's Nat. I'm from Perth, WA, and I've been doing comedy for about 2 years. So I got to be a part of the Comedy Zone. I got the call up last year. I was actually in Sydney at the time. And yeah, Gideon called me up and he said, hey, we want you to jump on board for this project during the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Gave me the rundown and yeah, I was stoked.
My dream job was to be part of an all-Muslim tribute band called Quran Quran. You know, we'd sing Hungry Like the Wolf, but only during the month of Ramadan, so...
Oh, it's great. You know, especially so soon in my career, I guess. Yeah, I'm really happy with where I'm at and how far I've gone.
He is someone I met at Perth Fringe World this year, and he's from Ethiopia. He has kind of grown up in Perth, and so I really resonated with him because I went to Perth first when I emigrated out from Ireland in 1990, so I was like a teenager as well, and with my parents, and so I really understand where he's coming from.
I grew up in Perth. I've lived in Perth my whole life. No applause, sure. I grew up in Perth, and you know, people there are always like, oh, you can't let boat people into the country. Some of them might be terrorists. They might do a terror attack in Perth. I'm like, good. Because you know, people rag on Perth for being a boring city, but the people are just as boring. And it's true, yeah. Just leave it to me, buddy. I'll convince them. You don't need to back me up. No, the people are just as boring, and I think the main reason for that is because they haven't suffered. Like, that's a... Sure. No, you know, that's a real thing. You know, usually the most interesting people are the ones who have suffered. How do you expect them to be interesting if the most devastating thing they've gone through was the great banana shortage of 2007? Yeah, you remember when that happened. Australia band together arms in arms and went, $20 a kilo, get fucked.
I decided to be a comedian after... Well, I graduated high school, and then a friend of mine did raw comedy, a competition run by the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And you know, he managed to get to the state final, and then I was just chatting to him and said, I told him I might give it a go. And he was like, oh, I don't know, it's pretty hard. And well, here I am. Basically did it out of spite, really. My first ever gig was at an open mic in Perth, in Fremantle, and it was something. It was, I basically just, I told the first joke and it went fine, but then I forgot the next joke and just blanked out on stage for about a full minute of just no words coming out at all. No, it didn't put me off. I thankfully went ahead and it's been going good after that. So I've only done raw comedy once, last year, and I managed to get to the state final with a pretty good achievement. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was always great crowds. Always fun. My favourite thing about being on stage is telling a joke and watching a room full of people, I don't know, laugh their stupid heads off.
I moved to Australia about 13 years ago. When I first moved here, I moved into sort of like a rough area though. Here's how I know it's a rough area. I could never tell whether the people who lived there were jogging or running from the scene of a crime. I even made it into a little guessing game. Fitness or witness, I called it. You can...
Yeah, he's going to be amazing. He's second up in the lineup at the moment. And yeah, I can't wait to see him as well in front of a crowd because we've only kind of done the workshops within the preparation period. So to see him fly in front of a crowd is going to be a great thing for the first time.
Comedy Zone is at Trades Hall this year at Old Council Chambers. It runs from the 30th of March until the 23rd of April.
Welcome back to Live from Trades. That was the beautiful Nat Demeanor. Such a sweet boy. Very good. Very good show. I love him. That was the wonderful Nat Demeanor, and I'm now joined by another beautiful man, Michael Schaefer.
Thank you,
How are
Hugh.
you, mate?
I'm so good. How are you going?
Oh, mate, living it up, going live. If you're not live, you're dead. That's what I always say.
It's true as well.
Now, you were doing a show here at Trades Hall.
Yep.
Jewish-ish at 8:30.
Yeah, that's it. 8:30 Trades Hall. It's going great. It's been full pretty much every night. My people are coming out. Even some of the Gentiles are coming out and finding out about my people. So I do a bit of admin at the start of every show. I'm like, where are my Jews at? They make some noise. Where are my Gentiles at? They make some noise. And then we all beat up the Gentiles. So it's been going really well.
Well, that sounds fun. Get on down.
It's like the opposite of a hate crime, basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's rare that you'd get beaten up at a comedy show, but I like it. You know what I mean?
We won't actually beat you up. That was just an attempt at comedy. We're not going to do it. And the real comedy show is way funnier than that previous attempt.
No, I think it was good. If that's the show, get down here. No, please do get down. It's very good stuff. So, Chef, you've absolutely been loving the run. It's your first solo show. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's good. It's long. Like, it's a whole month of shows, which is, so I'm trying to just not, get too tired out too early, because it's honestly like a marathon.
It is a marathon.
I'm trying to do my show, just maybe have a drink afterwards and then kind of go home and just get sleep, and haven't been to gym for 2 weeks, haven't seen my girlfriend for 2 weeks. So
I hate that.
it's no good.
It's hard to keep going to the gym, but you got to do it. You got to love to lift. You got to love to go live. And I mean, how are you finding it? Your first solo show. Last year, we were actually doing a little split show together, weren't we?
Yeah, we were doing 3-course comedy, which is great, because I always had you just killing the last 15 minutes, just destroying at the end. So now it's up to me to make sure that they leave laughing. Nice. But it's good. It's fun, like, having your own. It's fun having just them for an hour. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can really muck around with them, and you can, I don't know, you
bash
can
them.
You can beat them up if they're not Jewish.
Yeah, sure.
I can't stress enough that we do not beat up our audience members. We really welcome them all. But yeah, so please do come along. But yeah, no, it's great having them for an hour, and just being able to, you get to know them, they get to know you, which is nice. You can't really get that in like a 15-minute spot or whatever. So it's nice having them for that long.
Excellent. And one last thing, you got any hot goss so far? I love the goss. XOXO Gossip Huey. Please send in some goss.
Don't send in too much, because that's already trending. XOXO Gossip. Oh, I heard that 2 people got into a fight at Sam Taunton's show the other night. I assume that's been discussed already, because if it hasn't, I don't know what you've been doing, mate.
It's juicy stuff. Stay tuned, listeners. Is
that going to be fleshed out more later on?
Absolutely. Yes, it will be fleshed out. I wasn't there, but I'll make it up. It's going to be a wild yarn, let me tell you.
It sounds like my show. People are getting beaten. People actually got... Anyway, it's go check out Sam's show. It's so good.
Yeah. You'll just beat them up in your own show rather than outside. All right. Well, Michael Schaefer, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you very much.
Please, once more, tell them about your show.
Yeah, it's called Jewish-ish, 8:30 at Trades Hall. It's been selling out, so if you want to come along, maybe check it out on a weeknight. That'd be great.
Awesome. That was Michael Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back soon. We're going to cut to a quick break now. See you soon. Yes. We are back at Live from Trades. I'm your host, Tim Hewitt, and I have a very special guest here, another tradie, mate.
It's true.
Trades Hall, mate. It is the
Loving
wonderful Nat Harris. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Loving
pretty
it.
good. Loving it sick.
Great.
And so how's the show been for you so far?
The show has been going really well. It's
Excellent.
been, lots of fun performing. It's Dragon. It's at 7:30 p.m. at Trades Hall. It's a show about lots of different stuff, but it's called Dragon because that's my nickname.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that I gave myself.
Oh, that's so bold.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
also
wild
a show
stuff.
about empowerment as well, letting people take control.
Excellent.
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, you? Do you have a nickname?
I go by the nickname Huey.
Ooh, how on earth did you get that?
Look, I don't know how they came up with it. I have had one other nickname, though, Nat.
Great.
And that was at Nippers when I was 12. Just on the Gold Coast, all the beach blonde kids called me Meatball. And I don't know whether it was because I was quite chunky or I'm half Italian. Either way,
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah, either way, it was good.
Oh, I like it, meatball. I used to be called Mushroom Head as a child,
That's
actually,
also...
because my mum insisted that a bob haircut suited me. I also had a huge head as a child.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's good.
And
that's
a receding hairline. So I was just lucky I wasn't left at a service station.
Yeah, I mean, you're lucky, like, that was pre-Instagram babies. Like,
Yeah,
imagine how many photos there would be out there of that
Honestly.
nowadays.
Yeah, it's good for comedy, though. I'm lucky.
Absolutely. And so tell me, have you been having fun so far with the shows, all that sort of thing?
Been having lots of fun. It's kind of interactive. It's light. I know you like the goss, Tim.
I check it out. XOXO Gossip Huey. Love the goss.
Gossip,
hit it with me.
Gossip boy. Bit of a spoiler alert. I give out my number every night in the show because I think that male comedians do better out of stand-up comedy than female comics. Anyway, just a thought.
No comment.
I am going on a date tonight with an audience member.
That is so wild. I love that so much.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
good,
best.
isn't it?
It's good. And is he coming to the show and just going to sit there and be like, "This is the day"?
I don't know. And I have no idea which audience member he is either.
Yeah. Did he pay for the ticket as well?
I assume so. He better off, otherwise it's cancelled. Cheapskate. Anyway, some goss for you, Tim.
That is probably the best bit of goss of the whole show. Nat is dating in a show, and you made the dude pay for it. That's the best. You got a lot of wins there.
Well, he saw the show. He liked it.
Well, if you're interested in getting Nat's number, come on down. Check out our show, Dragon, at 7:30.
At Trades Hall.
Soon. Get down here.
Woo.
Awesome. We will be back soon, and we have a package now of another great Comedy Zone member, Rohan Ganju.
My name's Rohan Ganju. I'm from Victoria, and I've been doing comedy for about 2 years. The Comedy Zone is a collection of just real funny people, and we're just trying to bring some light to the world. To be a part of the Comedy Zone means you've made it, like you'll definitely be rich and famous. So I don't know, it's just a waiting game at this point.
Hi, how's it going, everyone? My name's Rohan. I'm going to tell some jokes. I hope that you guys like them.
I had tears in my eyes the first time I saw Rowan. I was like, this is for me. I'm totally the demographic here.
So I think about getting murdered heaps, because I'm weird, I guess. I try and make myself feel less scared of murderers by coming up with like lists of ways to not get murdered. I wrote one of them down here in my phone. I'm going to share it with you guys so you can also avoid getting murdered. So the first rule on the list is to know karate.
So without wanting to analyze Rowan too much, the combination of deadpan and absurdism is a really winning combination. And again, it's very different from Danielle and very different from everybody else in the zone. And I think the Comedy Festival have been very smart in putting this particular lineup together.
Karate makes you better at fighting. If someone tries to murder you, you can fight them. The second rule on the list is if someone is strangling you to death, start masturbating. I feel like at the very least it will buy you some time. Hopefully enough time to do karate. The third rule on the list is to train your dog to sense evil. I don't know how you do it, but it'll be pretty useful. The fourth rule on the list is never sleep in a hammock. That one explains itself. And the fifth and most important rule is don't be a lady, because I looked it up and statistically speaking, you guys might be in trouble.
Yeah, I got a joke that I tried a couple of times, but no one really liked it. I slept like a baby last night. I rolled onto my stomach and died. People got mad.
I treat my body like a temple. I let Indian guys come in there to feel closer to God. Sorry.
Most of the work we've been doing has been just kind of one-on-one or just the Comedy Zone group and a technician. And so he's been making us crack up in that sort of tough kind of circumstance and environment. So in front of a crowd, he's just gonna, I reckon, if it's the right crowd, because he's very absurd and very surreal. So in front of people like me who enjoy that, I think he's gonna take the roof off.
My biggest comedy influence is definitely Henny Youngman. And yeah, probably Henny Youngman. He's very funny. He's got this one joke where he goes like, if at first you don't succeed, so much for skydiving. And then he plays a little violin.
The combination of deadpan and absurdism is a really winning combination, and again, it's very different from Danielle and very different from everybody else in the zone, and I think the Comedy Festival have been very smart in putting this particular lineup together.
I would describe my comedy style poorly.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in to Live from Trades. I've been your host, Tim Hewitt. Please come check out shows at the Trades Hall for the rest of the Comedy Festival run. And please come check out Comedy Zone, the hottest acts from around the country, up and comers. We are going live, baby. I am out. Have a lovely night. Check out some shows. Thank you. Good night.